The opinions expressed on the Simone Edwards Show by our guests are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of the station, its owners, and or the Simone Edwards Show and those affiliated with it. In no event will the Simone Edwards Show, this station, its owners, guests, hosts, or affiliates be liable for the information disseminated on the program, including, without limitation, any loss or damage, indirect or otherwise, arising from information presented on the show. We trust you are of legal age and will consult appropriate professionals prior to employing any opinion expressed on the show. Many of the topics discussed are personal in nature, and some people may disagree with the opinions expressed on the show. We are open to your constructive criticism and or ideas for future radio programs. Please feel free to email us at the Simone Edwards Show at gmail.com. Again, that's the Simone Edwards Show at gmail.com. Hey everyone, we want to welcome you to another dynamic and engaging installment of the Simone Edwards Show. We are so happy that you joined us on the first Saturday of December. We are counting down to the end of the year. Can you believe that 2015 is almost over?
Crazy.
Oh my gosh, it has been a great year. I'm sure it has its ups and downs. It's been the best of times and the worst of times. Right. But we are looking forward to great things in 2016, and we are grateful for everything that has happened thus far in 2015. Yeah. So with that said, I want to introduce our guest for today. She is Veronica Nicole Graham of Exquisite Ventures Productions.
Yes, I love it.
Yes, and so we want to welcome you to the show.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
My pleasure. And we also have in studio my awesome and dynamic program manager, Antonia Washington Brown. Antonia, say hello.
Hola.
All right, so before we jump off into the deep end, as we call it, we are going to start out with just a little bit of an icebreaker just to get to know you a little bit, because guess what, you guys? Veronica is going to be back in studio with us in 2016.
Yes.
We're going to have her mid-year in June, and she's going to help us get our homes cleaned out of winter and spring and give us some tips. And then she's going to be back again in December.
I have some good things for you, so I can't wait. I'm very excited about it.
Awesome. We are excited to have you in studio with us. So tell our audience, where are you from?
I am born and raised San Diego, California. I am a native.
So you are definitely unique.
I know. It's not many of us left. Everybody's gone.
Yeah. There's there are more transplants, it seems, than natives.
Mm-hmm. Wow. But I'm a San Diegan.
Nice. So for those of us who are not really aware of San Diego, tell us some of the advantages to being born in Southern California.
Yes. The weather sells it all, of course. Our beaches, even just lifestyle, entertainment, the theater, just everything. So San Diego is, I believe, the third most visited city in the world.
Right.
And it's a reason for that. It's because it's just absolutely breathtaking everywhere you go. So, San Diego is it.
It really is. Having been a transplant myself, it's, there are other places I've lived that I definitely like and have wonderful memories. Right. But it's kind of hard to think of moving somewhere else, especially when you start thinking about the winters.
Yes. and that's it. It's the weather. It can be completely winter time, December, and you wake up and go outside. Oh, it's 82 degrees on this winter day. So it's like, all right.
I don't know what y'all. I've been like very tempted to post pictures of people and be like, this is San Diego winter wear, where somebody will have on shorts
and flip flops
and a jacket with some boots. That's San Diego winter wear.
Yes, it is.
Don't hate. This is how we do winter.
Right.
On the West Coast.
It's your city now, so claim it.
So let's talk about some of your favorites. What is your favorite color and why?
Yes, black is my favorite color. I think that it's a very empowering color. It's also can be a dominating color. And if you want to have someone's attention, show up in a black suit and a black turtleneck.
Okay.
And you have your audience.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love that. And I really, when in listening to it, because a lot of times when you think of the color black, people tend to associate that, unless you are on the East Coast.
Right.
It's tend to be associated with things that are dark and depressing.
Oh, no,
and so to hear
all.
you speak about it from the standpoint of it being something that is empowering and commanding,
yes.
I absolutely love that. So you kind of have like a little bit of an East Coast vibe.
Maybe. I think you walk in a room in black and you own the room.
Right.
You can't help it. People can't help what they see when they see that color.
Right.
And if you walked in distinguished and all black, oh yeah. Whether it's formal attire, casual, it doesn't matter.
Right. I love it.
Yeah.
I might be adding more black to my
Right, yeah. Well, I look, and
when she first came in.
Yeah, black shirt, black pants. But believe it or not, my mother, Dr. Barbara Graham, I believe you know her, has told me that she's tired of me wearing so much black.
Well, it looks good on you because that first impression, it was like, okay, this woman's about her business.
Yeah, so I think she just wants me to add more coloring, which I love color, but for the types of things that I'm going to get, the meetings that I go to, all black.
It's all black. I like that. I really like your take on that.
Yes.
I love it when I meet people whose perspective expands my own.
Okay.
You know, I really do. So when you are not planning, and we're going to get into your field in just a moment, but when you're not planning fabulous events, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Oh, if anyone knows me, they would know that I would say I love to dine.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't have to be, people are going to say, oh, she likes to go to all these posh restaurants. It's not the posh of the restaurant. It is the atmosphere. It is the atmosphere of where I am.
Right.
I can't help it that the posh people made the restaurant on the water.
Right.
I don't have to have steak and lobster. I can go to the restaurant on the water and I can have a piece of cheesecake and a coffee and I can stay for 5 hours if they let me.
Right.
They usually won't kick you out. But it is atmosphere that I love. So why not go there, go to a really nice restaurant or just a restaurant that has that atmosphere you may want and just sit there, have some coffee and talk.
But it's so true, though. And Tony was giving me the look because she has labeled me a foodie. And it's okay, whatever I am.
Yeah, that's all right.
But
why did I label you a foodie?
Because you eat with your senses. You do.
Yeah, she eats for the experience.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's just, and so when you're in a place where it's beautiful and the ambiance is great, it adds to the flavor of the food.
That's
and
true.
when you're looking at a beautiful vista like water, then it just does something to your taste buds. It's awesome.
If I'm on the water, I'm good. I'm a water person. I don't like to swim though, and I don't like to be wet at all.
Really?
No. No. But I want to be near the water.
Okay.
I want to see it. I want to look at it. I want to smell it, and I want to hear it.
Oh yeah, the hearing thing. That's a big one.
Okay, I'll tell a secret.
What?
I sometimes go down to the pier downtown, and I just park my car, and I just roll down the window. I might go to sleep.
Oh, high five!
Please don't tell my parents or anyone, because my mother have a fit that I'm doing something. It's kind of dangerous, but it's all right. It's all right. She's gonna act like she didn't hear it. So, I will drive down there. I will go get some rolled tacos and a soda, and I will be at that pier for 2 and 3 and 4 hours, if I can.
Yeah, and I'm with you because I have my favorite beach spot.
Yeah,
I've introduced like maybe 5 people total to that spot.
Okay.
And I have introduced them on the pain of death that if I ever see any of your people up in here, I will know that you brought them to my beach.
Okay.
And you will.
That's how I'm kind of about restaurants. Because some of them are hideaways for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to the cave. Where's the cave? I'm not talking about where the cave is. So I'm going to have to get your spot.
Yes.
And I'm going to have to give you a restaurant.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a fair trade. Okay. Okay, so tell us, when are you the happiest?
Oh, boy. Well, I have a few answers for
yes,
that.
and I would like to hear them.
So, of course, I am happiest when I'm giving God praise.
Yes.
Because He is our maker, and without Him, I can do nothing.
Right.
Okay? But I have some other answers.
Okay.
I have a political answer.
What is the political answer?
The political answer is, I'm happiest when I'm helping others, watching their dreams come true, and knowing that I had a small part in making it happen.
And I just felt like that star with the rainbow behind it went by.
Wait,
and it was like, the more you know.
Yeah, my wave and everything. Now, see, let's see. And I have another answer. My children. Okay. If anybody has met my children, they know that they definitely are extremely fun. Mm-hmm. And if they're all together at one time, mm-hmm. you're going to be screaming, laughing, telling them to just be quiet because they're really fun. So I'm really happy when I'm with them. Mm-hmm. I'm happy when we, go to the movies. And my favorite happy time with my children and family is taco night. Okay. Because I'll have a taco party, every Friday if I thought I could. But they've all, they've gone and, they're in school and different places. So,
So is this like homemade tacos or is this like taco shop tacos?
No. You got to make them at home.
Okay.
You got to make them at home. You have your taco meat and your seasoning and all. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so that's one of my habits. Now, when I think of this question, I also think of one of my brothers. Okay. And what would he say?
And what would he say?
Yes. He would say, Veronica is happiest when she's spending other people's money on herself. So, yes, definitely. But I wouldn't say that, but I know that he would. So those are my happiest times.
Very nice. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, so since we brought up your brother, yes, let's go back to a time in your childhood. And what I want you to do is extract for me one of your favorite memories.
One of my favorite memories is always when I think about going to the fabric store with my aunt and all my aunts and my two cousins, Shannon and Desiree McGriff. And of course, it's the fabric store, so we ran and we played and we hid and we knocked down all the bolts of material and we did all those things, and then as soon as we were done, we always went to Frosty Freeze. Okay. Now you guys aren't gonna get it because Frosty Freeze is a pillar place in San Diego for anybody that was born and raised here. Okay. It's still in Spring Valley. I think it's off of. When I pull up to Frosty Freeze now, I just be like, oh my goodness, it's Frosty Freeze, and you can't help it. You can't help it. If you can't help it, because it's just something that it was your treat, and where you were able to go with your family, and So that was one of my fondest memories as a child. Another one, I'm gonna tell another secret. Okay. So a lot of people know that Anthony Williams is my cousin. Right. He's also called Tone, and also known as B. Slade and Brian Slade. So we used to make mud pies in the backyard.
Did you eat the mud pies?
No. Okay. I have to tell you what the mud pies were. Oh. The mud pies were almost like snowmen, and that was our choir. And then we also would sneak while our parents was in the living room, and we would go and get pots and pans and bowls and wooden spoons. Of course, we had to sneak them, but they was laughing so hard, and they didn't know what we were doing, so we just did it one at a time. Right. And we had our band because the pots and pans and the bowls and the wooden spoons was the instruments.
Are there any songs from this choir that you can share with us?
Anything sung at home. So I couldn't sing, but I could play the pots and pans because he's the singer. He did all the parts. Oh. So, but that is one of my fondest memories because we did it so often. So,
that's a wonderful. I love both of those memories. Those are really good. Those are really, really good. So let's move up the chain just a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so while you're doing this childhood extraction, you meet your 15-year-old self.
Oh.
What advice would you give to your 15-year-old self?
She needed to be talked to.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's talk to her, and we're going to make this one a round table.
Yes, I'm going to talk to her, and I'm going to tell Veronica that her dark chocolate skin is absolutely beautiful.
Right.
And she does not have to be light skin or caramel.
Okay.
She's gorgeous.
Yes.
And she's, she had that struggle.
Okay.
And people didn't know it. She hid it.
Mm-hmm.
But Veronica was trying to save her allowance to go buy black and white soap bars because she heard that it bleaches your skin.
Oh, wow.
And she did all kinds of things. She broke herself out trying to change her skin tone. Mm-hmm. And I would definitely tell her, your skin is beautiful. Right. And just be who you are. Right. I would also talk to her about her body development. We can be real here.
Yeah.
So Veronica was extremely thin. She was maybe 83 pounds throughout her high school years. So she was just anorexic thin. And I would definitely tell her, you're going to be fine. You're going to develop. You're going to try to get some of your development off. You're going to be fine. Just stop worrying about it and stop, not sleeping at night because you're not looking like her or you're not looking like her. Veronica is wonderful, but she didn't get it then. But, I get it now.
I think those are some really great lessons, and I would even venture to say that your transparency really helped some of our listeners today because there are women who are struggling with self-acceptance.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so to hear that, and especially, African-American women, or whether they're African women or women from other countries, whatever the case may be, that are struggling with accepting anything that's outside of a societal norm.
Right.
And so it's, just because I don't look this way doesn't mean that I'm not beautiful. It doesn't diminish the beauty that God has given me. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Antonia, what would you go back and tell your 15-year-old self?
Okay, so all of us, we always say, if I knew then what I know now, things would be different. But you know what? If I knew what I know now then, I would have never went through my tempering.
Right. That's really. See, I told you.
Wow.
I don't think I would give myself any advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that process was vital to me becoming the person that I am today.
I love that.
That's really awesome. And so now I'm not going to say anything because that was...
No, we want to hear it.
That was just a shutdown corner right there.
I know. I'm just like, let me rethink my answer.
And every once in a while she'll go,
wait, hold on. Maybe I should have talked about, Okay, but no, we want to hear.
I would say for me, I would probably tell my 15-year-old self, don't lose your accent. Because when I came to the States, I'm from Jamaica, for those who don't know. And so when I came to the States when I was 12 years old. And I came at a time when having an accent was not cool. And I moved to New York at the time. And so I learned very quickly, when you're in Rome, you do what the Romans do. And so I kind of, people have coined it over the years that I have like a newscaster's accent, but I learned very quickly that if you didn't have a British accent, you were not considered as intelligent. You were not given as many opportunities. These were things that I saw at a very young age, and so I learned how to acclimate to the culture that I was in, and in the process I lost my accent. And it comes back from time to time, like when I talk to my sister who's in New York, or when I talk to her, when I talk to my brother, or there are times when, I'll even talk to my dad who lives in London. And when I talk to him, there are times when it comes out and you can hear it. But for the most part, it's kind of buried. And it's not something that I, at this particular time, that I think that I need to excavate to bring it back to the surface. Because there's to a certain point, it would almost sound artificial. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think we all go through that.
Yeah.
Everyone, let's see, African American, we all go through that, because I know I grew up speaking incorrect English. And so when I was put in all my advanced classes, my AP classes, the kids would look down on me because I had that ghetto accent. If that's the word you want to use. But as
she rolls her eyes.
But as I got older and I learned, I was like, okay, so the fact that I may have said this sentence incorrectly, actually it would have been correct had maybe the language of our ancestors been preserved. The sentence structure follows that. That's where that comes from. So for all those people who look down on the person that doesn't speak correct English, that's okay. That doesn't mean that they're unintelligent.
Right. That is such an excellent point. It really is. And we have kind of overextended our icebreaker, but it's been so good that I didn't want to stop. So we're going to close out with this one last question, because we're going to come back from break. And when we come back, we would definitely want to jump into you and what you do and what is EVEP. So our final question is, and yes, I think of philosophical things like this. If God granted you the ability to wake up to one smell and one sound for the rest of your life, what would it be? And this is our final roundtable.
For the rest of my life.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's a good one. I would definitely choose vanilla.
Okay.
As my smell.
Okay.
The reason that I would choose it is because it is such an inviting smell.
Okay.
And when you think of the smell of vanilla extract, think of that. It's always going to bring some type of good memory to you.
Okay.
It's ice cream.
Right.
We all love ice cream.
Right.
It's also something that you smell in your mother's home. So it's going to bring on childhood memories, Thanksgiving, pies, cakes, pound cake.
Right.
Yeah, so I would choose vanilla.
Okay, what about your sound?
Okay. My sound. If I could hear a sound, I would ask the Lord to let me hear music. But if he said no, one song, I would choose Total Praise.
Okay.
I believe it's Richard Smallwood.
Yes.
I believe that he was an absolute genius when he wrote the song. And I say that because when I hear it, I have to control all of my emotion and being when I hear that song. Or else I would just sit there and just scream and cry and holler. Every chord, every lyric of the song, everything that has to do with the song, it provokes emotion out of me.
Wow.
So I honestly could hear that song every day, like all day long. And I have a witness.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call out Pastor Edward Baldrick.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because he can tell you every time I came to any concert. I was in the Voices for 15 years, voice of fulfillment. Anytime I was there, I begged him, please, can we sing Total Praise? Can we sing Total Praise? Ed, can we sing that? He'd be like, Veronica, okay, the song is wearing on out. And I'm like, no, I want to hear Total Praise. And to this day, I'll still just like, can we hear Total? Can you just sing a little bit? like a little. So when I say that I love the song, I love it. So if I had the choice, I would ask for that.
Wow. I've actually heard that song and I really do like it, but I'm going to have to listen to it now with that in mind.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to have to listen to it
with
that in mind.
Genius.
All right, Antonia, what about you? One sound, one smell.
Smell. I'm a nostalgic person, so vanilla is one of those.
Okay.
I surround myself with it. It's in my body wash. It's in my perfume.
Yes. Okay, really? Okay, see?
It's in my lotion.
Okay.
I love vanilla. So if anyone wants to get me a Christmas present, I love Victoria's Secret's Heavenly or Mary Kay's Thinking of You.
Okay.
Just a hint.
Let your request be made known.
Just in case you out shopping.
Okay, and sound. That's a hard one for me since I surround myself with music and sounds and stuff. So it would either have to be, I guess, somebody with a full belly laugh. When you hear somebody just bust out with a full belly laugh, you can't help but to laugh with them. I don't care if the joke was corny or you don't even know what they're laughing about.
If you didn't hear the
joke. Or either, my favorite sound is, on my saxophone is my low A, and it's you can feel it in your chest. Yes, I love it.
Wow. Okay, very nice.
Now, what about you?
I'm going to close out the round table by saying it's two things at this time.
Okay.
Considering the fact that I don't have children and all that other stuff. I would say for me, sound would be the sound of the ocean. Sound of the ocean. My God, if I could have a house near the beach and just, whether I go out on the front porch or sleep with the window open, the sound of the ocean. And then the smell for me would be, it's a Chinese white lily. It's also called the stargazer. I love the smell of those. I love the smell. They don't last very long, but the perfume, oh my God, it's just amazing. So it would be, if I had to narrow it down to two things, it would be those two things. We thank you so much for joining in with us on this first part of the show and getting to know this amazing lady. We're going to be back in just a moment, and we're going to find out a little bit more about event planning. We're going to hear some tips. We're going to find out about some great things that are going on in her life. So hang tight. We'll be back in just a moment.
Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns about today's show? Would you like to share your testimony or any constructive critiques? Would you like to know how to be a guest on The Simone Edwards Show? Please feel free to email us at thesimoneedwardsshow@gmail.com. We are also available on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. Be sure to follow us to receive updates regarding the show and our other ministries.
We are back here in studio with Veronica Nicole Graham of Exquisite Ventures Event Productions, or EVEP, EVEP. And so here's what we want to find out. At what point did you discover event planning and making life beautiful was your thing?
I think I discovered it really when I was born. My mother was the church wedding coordinator.
Oh, wow.
So since I was born, I've just been a toddler running around with her, looking at bows and things on the table.
Okay.
Because she hand crafted everything.
Oh,
everything.
Wow.
So, fabric store, like I was saying.
Right.
A lot of it had to do with weddings. So, I've been doing it for years. I've followed her footsteps.
So at what point did you convert it into a business, and how long did you go from hobby to business?
It took me about 12 years to really settle down and say, I'm going to do this professionally.
Okay.
Working with my mother, I would kind of question, what about the business side of it? There was no contract, there's no paper, there's no nothing. As I got older, and everything was kind of word of mouth.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna give you $200 next Friday. So I was like, well, what about the business side? As I got older, I wanted to learn the business side.
Okay.
So I learned the business side a little better than I learned the decor side. And I had to go to school to get that decor side. Mm-hmm.
I think that's really not only interesting, but I also think that that's great, because usually creatives tend to do it backwards. Right. Mm-hmm. We get the creative part down, and then somewhere along the way it's like, oh my God, I'm supposed to make money off of this. Right. Wait a second. And so I think that's nothing but the wisdom of God to help you to kind of go, no. Let's curtail this part, and let's learn the business side of it, and learn contracts and the legalities and making money, and then bring this to the forefront.
Well, I would start the business side of it, and I would tell my mom, "Oh, go ahead and you can make all these centerpieces because you're so creative." You know, so sometimes to this day, don't you just want your hands to do something? Don't you just want a project or something to do? And I'm going, yeah, okay, come on up to the table. And she's walking into.
I don't think that's gonna work anymore.
Right. She's walking into vases and she's staring and looking at me. Let's get it done. We have 2 days. So yes, that's where that came from.
So now, how did you come up with the name Exquisite Ventures Event Production?
Yes. The name was given to me by a dear friend that we all know and love. Bishop Joel Trout named my business. How he did that. I had stopped event planning, just going through, rough times, and you just get mad at the world. The world really hasn't done anything to you, but you just get mad. And it's like, I'm not going to do it anymore. And I stopped. I literally stopped, and I had another event planner's number in the city, and when people called and asked me to do an event, I would give them her number and say, call her. So he called and was like, hey, I want you to do an event for me. And of course, I told him no. Soon after, the yelling, the fussing, the lectures started. One of the things that he said to me was, your events are so exquisite. And I was like, wow, that was a nice word, but it's that eloquent talking. And he said, they're almost like an adventure. People want to get dressed and go because sometimes they just know that you're doing it.
Right.
And I said, wow, and he made me sit there and think about it.
Right.
And then he said, all right, name your business Exquisite Ventures and get up.
Oh.
And I believe the very next day, I was down taking care of business, and that's where it came from.
I love that.
And it's been growing ever since.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I have to give the praise to him.
That is
People
awesome.
don't know that, but he really honestly did name it.
I really do. I like that for so many reasons, because one, it shows that before you make that transition from hobbyist to entrepreneur, that you do go through a lull.
Oh, yeah.
And that God will send those people into your life to kind of pull you up and to show you what you don't even see in yourself yet.
That's right.
And if you just take heed to wise advice, then you never know where you can end up. So I really do. I love that story very much.
Yes.
So demystify event planning for us. What is it and what is it not? Shatter some myths.
An event planner basically puts together events, parties, meetings, and concerts. They take a bunch of facets that need to be put into an event, and they execute them for someone else, usually. It's kind of a myth that they're a like executive assistant, because they're not.
That's really good.
They're really not supposed to be picking up laundry and running errands of groceries and things like that. And sometimes people will have their event planners do extra things like that. That's not what they're supposed to do.
Really?
They're supposed to be putting your party together and making sure that your event is beautiful and well done so the client can get the praise.
Right.
And that's kind of...
So what I think about based on your description, what I think about when I hear that is Paul Mitchell's tagline for their brand. And it's that when you look good, we look good.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And event planners usually are not glorified. I think that they're changing right now, and they're kind of coming to the limelight and kind of stepping into the spotlight. Like, yeah, I put this event on, but usually, or it used to be that you didn't know who the event planner was.
Right.
They're in the back.
Right.
While the client is hosting and like, oh yes, I did this event, but no.
Okay. So why do we need an event planner? Talk to us about that. I think you've kind of given us a little bit of insight so far.
Yeah.
But elaborate for those of us that are listening, or for somebody has a party that's coming up who's thinking, do I need to get an event planner for this?
Yes. A lot of people think that event planners are extremely expensive, and they are not necessarily. They can work within a person's budget. So I want everyone to always remember that. If you have an event and you're thinking, hey, I only have $3,000, they can work within that budget. They just have to be good at what they do.
Right.
So that's why you would need an event planner. You don't want anyone that's going to pull you out of your budget, stress you out. You want someone that has ties with different vendors where they've been working with them for 10 years. They can get a discount. So sometimes people want to do it on their own, and they end up costing themselves all this money when I could have got those vases for you for $10 a piece.
Wow.
But you just paid $45 a piece because you didn't want to hire an event planner.
So, wow. So when you say like you work within someone's budget and they give you a budget of $3,000, you mean like so they give you the budget of $3,000, but that's also that $3,000 is going to include your fees.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. Event planners usually take their fee. They get a retainer, and that's just to get them started. It's gas money to start running around.
Right.
You know, people are like, "What do I have to retain you?" It's not a lot of money. It's just to lock in your date and to get started for you. It's a lot of research when you have, especially if it's going to be a lot of people. So they want to find the best prices for you and get you all the discounts that they can. So you kind of need to retain them to just get them started. And then so I shouldn't be telling you, but let me see, a $3,000 party, you're probably going to put at least 25 to 40 hours just researching. Usually we will charge a percentage of what the budget is. So 25%. Okay. Sometimes it can go up to 30 and 40, especially depending on how much work had to be put into it.
Right.
But usually I'm going to charge maybe 20 to 25%. Don't quote me on that because things change.
Right.
But yeah, I would say that. And then 25% is probably fair. I work on fair, and then I would maybe add tax and a service.
Right.
And so, I'm getting a little bit, and you're having a fabulous party, and you're relaxing. Another reason you would need an event planner really is because you want to be a guest at your own party.
That's such a good point.
Why do you want to work?
Right.
So you want to put out chafing dishes and you want to
trying to run her wedding day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good example. So that's why I do encourage people. A lot of people just think that it's just so expensive and they're just going to charge me and they're going to take every dollar of my money. They're not.
Right.
They're not. Some people are doing it because it's their passion and they want you to look good and they want to help you.
And by some people, we do mean Veronica Nicole Graham. For those of you who are listening, who would like to reach out. So talk to us about some of the obstacles that you've encountered along the way.
Obstacles. One of my biggest obstacles, we talked about it, was contracts.
Okay.
I used to clam up with the contract.
Okay.
Because it was just uncomfortable. And I didn't want to ask for it. I didn't want to ask for the money. I knew how to do them.
Right.
But I didn't want to ask for it. I didn't want to ask for retainers. And I know that I needed the retainer.
Right.
So I would just go ahead and start the work and just take stuff out of my own bank account because I didn't get retained.
Right.
And that sometimes did not work. It wasn't good.
Okay.
Sometimes they didn't even have the party, and I spent money.
Wow.
So I had to learn to be a little more assertive but sweet and get the retainer and get paid. Sign the contract. Don't say nothing, but I'm going to do the work for you.
Right.
Just sign the contract. And yeah, it got much easier over time.
That's really good, and I really thank you for sharing that, because one, as a woman who owns a business, a lot of times for female business owners, especially when you're starting out, there's always this hesitancy because we have this societal pressure of we have to be nice. Right. Because, you know, a man can be direct, but if a woman's direct, then she's aggressive and, you know, she's trying to take over and all that other stuff.
She's trying to be a boss.
And it's like, well, actually, I am a boss. I'm not trying. But I think that there is, all joking aside, there is that part when it comes to business where you have to put aside the feelings and the perception so that you can get business done.
That is right. You hit it right on the nail. You know, you just have to do it, uncomfortable and all. And then there's ways that you can really make it comfortable.
Right.
And just talk and have a pleasant attitude. We're going to talk about that later, but have a pleasant attitude and don't be all mad and mean. Why am I trying to get someone's money to get paid, but I'm mean? You have to eat. You have to learn how to speak to people so you can get the contract with sweetness and kindness and thank you, and you can do it.
But you still gotta ask for it.
Right. And it's overcoming that hurdle while being courteous.
Right. And the thing is that I learned that I have to say it first. Right. Okay, so when we meet, we'll just go over the contract, and they're already expecting it. They already know. I said it in our first conversation. Right. So when we do meet, okay, now here's that contract I was talking about, and this just explain it so they don't feel bamboozled. Like, what is all this? You know? Right. To explain it. This is what this section is. This is what this talks about. This is the payment. This is the day that you're going to pay me, and we're good. And that's how it goes.
That's excellent. So for you future business owners, I hope that you are taking some really good notes.
Yes, get the contract.
We are going to get the contract, because without the contract, you may not get paid.
Right.
And then the contract not only pays you, but also protects you.
It protects. It protects the client too.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, I have done this statement of work, and this statement of work says, I am going to do this, this, and this, and this. And if you don't see it, come and here, the contract says right here, you're going to, this is what I'm paying for.
That's really good. We have to take a brief break for station identification, but we will be back in studio with Veronica Nicole Graham of Exquisite Ventures Event Productions. We will be back in just a moment.
Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns about today's show? Would you like to share your testimony or any constructive critiques? Would you like to know how to be a guest on The Simone Edwards Show? Please feel free to email us at thesimoneedwardsshow@gmail.com. We are also available on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. Be sure to follow us to receive updates regarding the show and our other ministries.
All right, we are back here in studio with Veronica Nicole Graham of Exquisite Ventures Event Production, EVEP.
I love the way you say it.
And so we have actually had such a wonderful time in studio. I am so sad that we have to come to the end, but we are on a time limit and time constraints. So let's give the people what they want to know, because you've actually given us a really good overview of why an event planner is needed. I know that when I have events coming up, I will not be the let me do it myself. I will definitely be reaching out to you.
Just give me a call.
And so talk to us now about some trends. What are some of the hottest trends right now in decor?
All right. Trends right now, I've noticed, I've just kind of done a little bit of research. Gold. Gold is back, and it's the newest bling.
Wow.
No more necessary diamonds and rhinestones. They're just using gold fixtures throughout your home, and they just pair it with pillows and throws and curtain colors, rods and things like that. But gold is in. Okay. The latest trend that I love is the new 3D wallpaper.
Huh.
Yeah. It's not just flat anymore. It comes out and it does something. It may curl. It may have things on it, but it's the newest look for walls in our homes today. You should take a look at that. I will give a website so people can see that on your page.
Excellent.
Formal tablescapes are taking over as everyday dining.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
So, like a formal after 5 event that you would go to, you may see a centerpiece, flowers, linen napkins. Well, people are just putting those on their tables for a set of 4. And it's becoming their everyday dining. So why not dine fabulously every day?
Oh,
So,
everything
yeah, I
inside
think
me
people
just
love that.
tingles. It's like bringing elegance into the everyday.
I heard a bunch of work.
Yeah. No, because once it's done, it's set. It's set for the season. So,
But you gotta dust it.
yeah, you got to dust it. And you know, you're going to use it. You're not going to let it sit there and just be pretty in case somebody comes over. You're going to use it.
Yes.
And that's going to help your emotions and the way you feel. You're just going to,
So, Veronica, I want to throw this out there. Yes. So, as you were talking about these new trends in decor, what I pictured was someone's home that may be dated.
Okay.
But they don't necessarily have the budget to run out to a store and buy everything brand new.
Right.
What's some ways that they can kind of spruce up their home and,
You know what I've seen?
bring it forward?
Yes. I've seen really unique things lately. I saw someone purchase canvases that you just go to any store and get.
Right.
Plain canvas that you would paint.
Right.
But you paint it with home interior paint.
Okay.
And put it up on your wall. So you're in an apartment, you know you can't paint the wall, but why not get a huge canvas and paint it whatever color you want it to be?
And then it becomes like a color block.
Yes. It's a color wall. Yes. I've also seen people are using plates as wall decor.
Huh.
Turn the plate over, you're not using it anymore. You know, it's just gotten old, but it has a bunch of colors on it. Turn it over. You put wire, glue wire on the back and put it up on the wall. You put a whole bunch of them. Different colors, different sizes, different textures. And there's your wall decor.
So it's making a comeback. That's what my granny used to do.
Right. Right. Put it up on the wall and just make it beautiful. And in between, you might want to put some mirrors.
Okay.
And let the sun bounce off the mirrors. It'll hit the plates, and it'll, just give you a nice effect. And it's cheap because you have it.
And that's what I love because, what we want to do is to cover the bases for everyone.
Right.
Because, everyone can't run out
That's
and
right.
go to, and I'm just going to say Marshalls.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't.
Right.
Everyone can't run out and go to Marshalls or Kohl's or wherever
Right.
and buy brand new stuff.
Right.
But talking to someone like you,
Right.
and so you should really think about expanding your business into consultation, where people could maybe meet with you and just have you come to their home, take a look around, and say, how can I spruce this up?
Right.
In a way that's not going to cost me a whole lot of money.
Right.
And, since you bill on fair.
Right.
Right.
And that's where bill on fair. I'm going to write that down. That's exactly what I mean. That's why sometimes you just need an event planner because they're going to know where things are that you're just not going to ever be able to find.
Right.
They know where the little hole in the wall places are, maybe down by the border, that you can get flowers and things for 15 cents.
Wow.
And you would just never know. You think you have to go to Walmart. Or you think you have to go to even the 99-cent store has some flowers in there. But you can go to other places and just be like, okay, I got this whole bunch for $2.50, but you wouldn't know because you didn't want to stretch out on faith and hire the planner.
And not only that, these are people that have the ability and the gift to see differently.
Right.
And so why wouldn't you bring someone in? Right. Because their eye will give you a fresh perspective. I mean, just sitting here talking to you now, the whole idea, I'm not a plate person, so I wouldn't do the plate.
No plates, okay.
But I'm a mirror person, and I like the canvas. So to take an entire canvas and paint it, and now rather than paint that wall, I have a block.
Right. Oh, and just for effect, go to Home Depot and put some lights behind the wall.
Oh, stop it.
And you can just press a little button and they'll turn on and illuminate the back of the wall.
Oh, see.
And they have rope that can illuminate the back of something. You just put it in the back, use your staple gun, and you have this gorgeous effect. Turn your lights off and sit down in the living room and just stare at it.
Right.
That's what you got to do sometimes. And it's gorgeous.
And so for my married couples who are listening, I'm saying my married couples because y'all know where we are on the show. Amen. So for my married couples who... we do.
Wait,
we love them.
And she closes up.
I close my shirt. We
love you, Jesus.
We love you, Jesus. And we know you're going to do it. We know. We know what you're going to do because you promised.
You promised, Lord. But, for the married couples, whether you're a new couple or you're a couple and you're just going through a financial, you're in a financial press right now, but you want to keep your marriage, you want to still keep things lively and exciting.
Yes.
This is where someone like Veronica comes in and can help you with amazing ideas. So you just got some amazing tips from her, and so I'm going to ask you to reach out to her and get more information so that you can make your home welcoming and inviting and beautiful.
I have one thing that I will give the married couples.
Okay.
When you're thinking of doing something, even if it's expensive or inexpensive, always remember sight, touch, sound, and smell.
Okay.
Spray the room. Make sure you have out some type of beautiful throw or something that can be touched, like a pillow. Your sight, of course, is going to be attractive colors. And the sound, put on some type of beautiful music. And those are the senses that I'll give you for this time. I have more, but I'll add that on the next go round.
That's why you have to tune in June to get the rest of it.
Right.
So talk to us, since we are in the month of December, talk to us about how we can make our Christmas and New Year's soiree, just a little bit more special.
Home for the holidays.
Okay.
So just what I went over, those senses. Make sure that the home smells of Christmas. You can go to Walmart and get a can of basically Christmas spray, pine and chestnuts. You can go just purchase those. Spray up the house and let it smell good, for, your holiday time. You can also make sure that you have things baking, gingerbread, put nuts in the oven and just let them bake and open up the oven, and you don't even have to eat them. It's just the smell.
Or either just put some vanilla in a pot on the stove.
See,
there you go.
She's a vanilla girl. Vanilla and cinnamon.
People come in your house and you throw them down.
Right. So those are some of the things that you can do. Always have extra, like hors d'oeuvres, just sitting in the house because you don't know who's going to stop by. And, you always want to be a host that, is on their game. Right. It's like, doesn't matter. You can come on in. Yeah, let's have a good time because we always have something here. Right. Get out your ciders and things like that. Cider is very good, warm cider, not the sparkling cider, but the warm cider. Warm teas with cinnamon, things like that. And make sure that your pillows and you can cover your furniture just for the season, very inexpensively, and just have those nice, beautiful, brilliant colors out. Put out your vases and fill up the vase with ornaments of different colors, and just invite all that beautiful color, and it brings emotion, it triggers emotion. So if you put it out and they come over, you'll understand why. Oh, I'm so comfortable. Oh, let's just stay. Let's do this. Not stay over. Oh my God. See, we was praying to Jesus a moment ago. No, not staying over, but you'll realize that people are extremely comfortable, and that's what you want to see. You don't want people to come over and be stiff and be like, all right, I drunk down, my cider and I'm leaving. You want them to feel enticed to stay and be warm and cozy.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Veronica, it's been such a pleasure having you in studio. For those of you who are listening, I really hope that those tips help you to make the holiday season just a little bit brighter, whether you are going to have a fantastic party or whether it's just you and your spouse or you and your kids. Just think about it. When you wake up in the morning and you have your coffee brewing or your tea brewing, get those cinnamon sticks and throw them in a pot and let that smell permeate the house, and you get to come home to it just a little bit later. It'll make you look forward to coming home and have something special to look forward to at the end of a possibly difficult day.
Yes.
So, Veronica, how can they get in contact with you?
Oh, wow. I'm all over the net. Let's see. I have, I think, 5 points of contact. So I'll give a few.
Okay.
I will do my showroom on my website is www.evep700.com. So that's evep.com. evep700.com, excuse me. Also Facebook. So it would be Facebook /evep700.
Okay.
Also for Instagram.
Okay.
evep700. And you can email me, write me, call me. It doesn't matter. Just I'm here for you. It doesn't cost anything for me to give you advice. So please do not think that. Call me if you need help. I'm here for you.
All right. So before we go, Veronica, are there any projects or anything like that you've got going on?
Yes, I am uber excited to announce my newest client. I did get the San Diego rescue mission today.
Congratulations.
Oh my God. I was just like, really? You guys, they signed the contract and they gave me the check. So I just don't know what to do. So that's going to be a very nice one coming up for Christmas. And also, I'm proud to announce that EVEP is going to start a seminar or a class on how to become an event planner.
I love it.
So many people ask me, what do I do? Where do I go? So I'm going to give all the tips. I'm going to give the resources. I'm going to tell them where they need to go down to the city to get their license.
Right.
And I'm just going to try to give back and help in that manner for people to have a new career in event planning, especially to young girls. It's going to be offered free.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh, I love that. When you get that going, let us know and we will promote you on our show page.
Oh, please, I would love it.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Yes. So.
All right. Congratulations on your win with the rescue mission.
Oh, wait until you see the pictures. It's going to be a winter wonderland.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Once again, that is Veronica Nicole Graham of Exquisite Ventures Event Productions. You can reach her on the web at www.evep700.com. And if you lost all the ways to get in contact with her, just shoot us an email here at the Simone Edwards Show at gmail.com. That is the Simone Edwards Show at gmail.com. And we will definitely get that information to her. We hope that you will take those tips, whether you're an entrepreneur, a hobbyist looking to become an entrepreneur, you just want to make your home special, or you want to take her tips and apply it to whatever business venture you currently have. We hope that you were blessed by what you heard today. We hope that you were challenged. We hope that you were inspired. And the best part of it, she'll be back again in 2016.
Yes, I can't wait.
I know.
It's going to be so fun.
So until that time, we hope that you have a fabulous rest of your Saturday, and tune in next week when we are going to close out our final love and relationship show for 2015 with the Nears, and we're going to be talking about the 10 biggest complaints in marriage. And one of the things that actually, I'm not going to give anything away, just tune in. I promise you, you will enjoy the show. We'll see ya. Bye.